Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 between Rogue and Classic, a Protoss vs Zerg between two of Korea's finest. I'm a big fan of Rogue. I don't actually know what he does in this matchup, but whenever I watch him play against Terran, it looks extremely interesting. He's one of the more interesting players at the moment for sure. Just really has his own style, freaking crazy in the late game as well. As we're opening up here with a Stargate first, coming out of Classic. Oracle on the way as well, so very standard early game here out of our man. The other day I was watching some Rogue games. What did I see him do again? He plays these very heavy lurker styles in CVT. I think against TOS he does the same actually, where he'll be very focused on the Nidus, making sure that he can get a Nidus up. He'll run around with lurkers if he can. Oh, I love this little move here out of Classic. Just getting some healing back on one of those two adepts. Did he get any kills from that, or what happened there? Okay, he got one link kill with it, and he lost a probe earlier, so that's generally not considered a great trade. Tries to run in, maybe get a shot off on one of these links. Almost loses an adept, but not quite. Love it when these guys stay alive. Spore's gonna finish up in time to deal with this Oracle. Look at that. Second accurate here in his defense is Rogue. As these two adepts are now gonna continue shading back home. Third base already on the way. So it's our second gateway, and here comes our fourth pylon. So we have a fairly standard opener here. Fast third, two oracles, perhaps a third oracle. No, it's going to be a Twilight Council here for Classic. As the double oracles make their way over to the other side of the map. Let's see what they have in store for us. Kind of looking for a hole here, and I think they're gonna find it, as a bunch of workers are now gonna fall. We don't even have a spore yet on this third base either, so that is -3 workers. It's a pretty big deal. 3 workers down, 4 minutes and 25 seconds into the game. It's not entirely what you want in life. At the same time, Rogue is still quickly holding down that drone button. He's heading up to 50 total. Fourth is going to be the follow-up here. Classic has been playing a lot of... is this going to be... Surely it's gateways, right? But the fact that this guy is still standing still, it worries me. It makes me believe he wants a Templar Archives almost. Okay, there we go. Just going to be double gateway. He was waiting a long time with that, so I wasn't entirely sure. We have a 4 adept move out here right now. We're going to have Blink. He is going to go rush that Templar Archives, isn't he? Or is this some type of 6 gate stuff? What are we waiting for here with this worker? Well, we keep an eye on this. Take a look at what our adept squad is doing as well. Still waiting. I am so curious what he wants to do with this. Did you just forget about the probe? Come on, man. Show us what you got. I think it's going to be a Templar Archives, because that has been the standard for Classic a while now. This really fast Templar Archives build. He'll get the blink, he'll get the +1, but he won't necessarily focus so much on those things. There we go. Templar Archives goes down, a different worker gets to do it. This guy's been waiting all his life for this moment. Gets passed by. Love to see it. Loves to see it. He had been promised that job. And now it goes to someone else. No extra gases yet, though, on this third base, as more Stalkers are being warped in. We see Rogue without any upgrades on the links, but with a relatively fast Hydra then, as well as a well-timed +1 range attack. Lots of links being produced here off of 6 gases already. So high gas count. Is this going to be a Ling Hydra all-in? I feel like... So this smells to me like there should be an infestation pit going down right now. So we probably want to be heading into lurkers at some point. But actually Rogue not doing anything of the sort. Rogue is just building pure Ling Hydra for now. No tech behind this. Fourth base potentially in a bit of trouble. Here comes the links around. Is going to catch a lot of these units. Stalkers are going to focus on this hatchery. I'm not so sure if this is the correct call. It's going to lose quite a few Stalkers. We have a transfuse available. No, it was just barely not available, as this base is going to go down. And every single Stalker is going to end up dying. 3 drones fall as well. Now, usually this wouldn't be a huge problem. But if your opponent is all-inning you, which I think is exactly what Rogue is doing here, this Ling Hydra all-in, I feel like this is a massive issue. Actually, usually it'd also be a huge issue. You lose, what, like 7 Stalkers to kill a hatchery? I'm not sure entirely how worth it that is Fourth base on the way here for Classic right now. A storm is about to finish up. Here we go. First storms will start hitting the field. Can we get some? No, we can't. Not so far. He's been very patient with this as the Oracles are trying to defeat these Hydra lists, but the Hydra's punch back pretty freaking hard. Missile attacks level 1 is about to finish up as well. This fourth base is absolute toast. It's gone. Adios. First pylon goes down. Second pylon is going to fall here as well. As these storms are going to connect with a couple of the Hydras. And I think Rogue might just not be capable of taking the W here in this game, despite killing a lot of Stalkers for free. Does not have the units necessary here to win the game. He targets down a couple more Stalkers. Do we have more Ling Hydra on the way? Yes, we have more Ling Hydra on the way. We have 7 Hydras, plus 7 coming in, so make that 14. But this is, of course, the real structure that we care about. It's going to be the Spire. We have gas number 7 already out. Gas number 8 will start soon as well. Yep, there we go. We'll play some, I guess, some Ling Muta behind this. Wanting to save as much gas as possible at the same time. We see Classic actually coming in for a move out. That is somewhat surprising to me. It feels like if you're playing against someone that's stuck on layer tech, you don't really want to be making these types of move outs, but Classic believes in it. He gets a couple of storms off. Hydra or Stalker Blinks are good. These Hydras are quickly disappearing, and once again, zoning storms are good. Classic, very confident Blinks in forward. Has no splash remaining though. Needs to be careful. Links without upgrades are not necessarily great, but they do tank a lot for the Hydras in the back. These Hydras do have some upgrades, so this army is just gonna get pushed back. Couple of Templar going down, Archon falling as well in the end. It's probably not entirely what Classic wanted, as more Stalkers now come to reinforce this position. Question is going to be, can Rogue actually survive? He's still banking gas like a madman, because at some point in the near future, he actually wants to get 10, 12, 13 mutas out to see if he can do something. He's still getting that +1 for the mutas as well. 5th base under some heavy fire. 1 Hydra does not get taken out. Good storm here. That actually was a very nice storm. Dealing a lot of damage on a bunch of these links as another storm comes down, but the Hydra's pushing through. The Archon falls down as well. We're not going to see muta production behind this. It is just more of the same. More Hydras, more links. Meanwhile, Classic is taking a 5th base. He's getting a 2nd Stargate. He's getting a fleet beacon. Classic is with his head in the clouds. Like, he is somewhere else right now. He is playing a macro game. He's expecting lurkers, but we don't even have an infestation pit. No hive. No lurker then. Nothing of the sort. This is going to be a muta attack. Funnily enough, the 2nd Stargate plus fleet beacon could be helpful there in building Phoenixes, but I'm not sure if this was the intended purpose for these buildings. It absolutely wasn't. 12 mutas now coming out. Gonna be moving towards the far left side as we're gonna get double carriers. By the time the first 12 mutas arrive, there's going to be 2 carriers about halfway done. This is going to be a tough battle here for a Rogue, let me tell you. He is not in a great spot. He is actually in the opposite of a great spot right now. He's in a pretty freaking bad spot. He is not loving life. Okay, he is not loving it here whatsoever. Get another attack coming in. Mutas now get spotted. You cancel the carrier for this? I don't think you do. We're gonna get an attack onto the Mutas, or sorry, onto the Templar. A lot of storms are being used, perhaps wasted even, as all these Templars end up falling. No storms are now remaining. We can get an energy recharge. No, it's not available. So there's actually going to be 0 storms against a Ling Hydra army. That is not entirely how you want things to happen in life. 15 more Hydras in production as well. First 2 carriers are on the way out, but carriers aren't necessarily strong against Hydras, especially carriers in low numbers. We have 195 supply of Hydra. We have no storm still. When's the first storm coming in? We still need a couple of seconds. 1 Templar now gets sniped. Can the other Templars survive? Yes, they will. Base under some heavy fire. 12 workers already having gone down. As the Hydra count is continuing to grow, I think Rogue might be doing the impossible here. As he clears 1 carrier, we have a Zealot run by into the main base. Lots of Hydras are being sent back for that. Holy crap! As 2 of these Templars now moving in forward, wanting to get some fat storms off. Here's a big Zealot warp in, but it's 182 supply of Hydras against 130 supply of Protoss. Links come streaming in to get some good kiting back as well. More of the Hydras slithering forward. Don't forget, this is still on layer tech. This is absolutely nothing. This is still layer tech. Freaking crazy. Nexus gets taken out on the far left side over here. Rogue is making magic happen here against a Classic that was way too greedy after a powerful early and mid game. Classic was ready for the late game. Rogue said, actually, I have one more trick up my sleeve, and it is a lot of Hydras. 40 Hydras across the map. A mass Hydra push, no lurkers, no carapace upgrades, just pure Hydras spitting on the opponent. Perhaps not the nicest thing you can do to a man, but boy is it effective. As Rogue is going to be taking game number 1 here after a very unlikely victory on Persephone. A very impressive game number 1 there out of Rogue. And when I say impressive, I mean he was dead and he won. Was it partially Classic's fault? Yes. Was it more than partially Classic's fault that he ended up losing? Absolutely yes. Classic played that game as if a Rogue was playing a super macro game with 140 drones. You know, Classic had a 5th base coming, carriers coming out, while pushing against a dude that was layer tech all-inning him on Ling Hydra. 7 minutes into the game, Classic already had the hard counter to that composition in Storm. Okay, that game was theoretically as over as they come, and Classic, he just kept going and going and pushing, losing more Templar until, you know, at some point it was too much. Rogue went across, took the victory. I was like, here's your L, Classic. Like, what? An L for me? I thought I was getting a W today. No, said Rogue. Not for you. I'll be taking that bad boy. Put it in his pocket. It's now in his trophy cabinet next to his other 2 World Champion Cups. It's like Extreme Masters Katowice and, of course, the BlizzCon, what is it, 2017? Okay, here we go. Oracle comes in. It's gonna plant the stasis. Luckily for Rogue, he wasn't born yesterday. Rogue was born about, I think, 30 years ago or so. So he had a lot of time to think about how to deal with a stasis. And the correct course of action for him seemed to be to pull away all of his drones. Let one take the hits, this poor guy. Here, inhale some of that gas for 21 seconds. Dude, this guy is going to be stoned as hell once he comes out. +1 melee on the way here as well. Ooh, we're going to go for glaives. So this will be a 4-3-4 gate build. Dude, this guy's just building gateways in different locations. He's got them everywhere. 1 gate over here. Twilight plus gate over here. Random pine here. I love the way his base looks, by the way. It looks really neat. More and more adepts are being warped in. For whatever reason, Rogue is not doing any... Oh, no, he doesn't need to do any scouting. He just sees this. It's like, 7 adepts. I wonder what that means. He throws down a baning nest. Like, I wonder if that thing's going to be on time. Rogue, I can tell you, that is not going to be on time, okay? That thing is late as hell. There is no way that you're going to be in time with these banelings. We have 32 links now on the way. There are 4 queens out. Wait, he only has 4 queens? Okay, he lost 1. Used to have 5. I'm not great with numbers. But 14 adepts. Oh. In a mineral line. Against pure links without upgrades. I'm not quite seeing this work out for a Zerg player here, let me tell you. This is going to go very, very poor here indeed for our Zerg. Stasis ward comes down as well as more and more adepts are hitting the 3rd base. We have 3 adepts still on the main as well. A couple of workers have gone down and there's just not a lot of links to deal with this. There's like no mining in the main base. Natural now is being attacked as well. So they're going to lose 6-7 drones there. These adepts over on the 3rd base are still getting kills against the links. There's nothing dealing with these adepts as 7 workers fall. It's going to be 60 workers to 44 as 5 more plus 4 more arrive. So we have, 6 more plus 4. There's going to be 10 more adepts coming in and we still have 0 banelings out. There are 11 links. Drones are still dying in the natural at a very high pace. And I think that probably just should be it. I don't see a way for Rogue to get out of here. GG gets called. And after an anticlimactic game, Classic ties up this series 1-1. Kind of an odd game given how early Rogue got that warning of the extra adepts and then how slow his response. You could even imagine just throwing in a safety spine at the third base, perhaps something of a wall between the natural and the third. And this is one of the issues when you're rushing out fast melee upgrades. This is one of the issues that we very often see for Zerg players. You rush out the fast melee upgrades, you don't really want to reveal the fact that you have a fast evo chamber. So they often try to hide it behind a mineral line rather than building it in a wall, which makes the walling process quite a bit more painful financially later on, because you have to add one extra evo already. He also did not put the baneling nest in the wall, so that also did not help, of course, making walling pretty much impossible. As classic here, what do we have out of you, buddy? We have an adept coming out. What else are we gonna see? Stargate on the way here as well. Speed and just your standard shenanigans, really. Oh, Rogue, please find that probe. It's so important for you. Okay, he's gonna see that probe. If you don't see the probe and you get blocked on your third base, that can be pretty freaking game ending. You have a little bit of dancing here between the links and the probe. First step makes its way across the map. And here we go. Big shading forward. Going to materialize here. See if we can get one drone here. Okay, good micro with that spore. Wonder if he's gonna finish it. No, we get an instant cancel. Adept is very damaged right now, though. Does not seem to me like this Adept is gonna be capable of ever going back here to this side of the map. Third Adept on the way. Second gateway will be constructed in the wall. Classic, really keen on these kind of old school 2-gate walls into third base. Delaying that third base a little bit. Does not feel any issues with that. Does not hate it. Doesn't hate it at all. So he flies his first Oracle across the map. Let's see what he can do with that. Gonna get spotted by this Overlord. As the Oracle decides to move itself back. Kind of into a dead space here. Queen's moved into position to potentially deal with it. Let's take a look here at the movement. Classic, what are we doing? He's just hiding. He is just hiding. He's waiting for his second Oracle before going in. He does not want to take major damage on his first one after being spotted. So I think his plan is, hey, if I'm not being spotted, I want to go in and commit. If I am being spotted, I am going to wait until I have double Oracles and then see what I can do. He's going to get a cancel here on this spore instantly. One drone's going to fall. Two drones are going to fall. This is nice early game damage. Once more. It's not crazy good, but it's fine. This time it is going to be in the wall. You see that? Instantly have an adaptation here out of Rogue. He says, hey, last game, this was a mistake. I'm just going to show you what I have. As is this 2 more workers that just went down? Yeah, 2 more workers. That makes a total of 4. Total of 4 workers falling so far. As this is all like almost an in-between adept move out. So you look at this if you're Rogue and you're thinking to yourself, hey, is this going to be Glaives? Probably not, because who would risk their adepts like this if you're planning on playing Glaives? Not many people would. He's actually finishing that. Wow. No way. You have 4 more adepts now being warped in defensively as well. $16 more links on the way. Also means there's no link spotting right now for follow-up move out. So we're going to get 4 more adepts here at some point. It's going to bring the total up to 14 of these bad boys. If my math is correct, 15. Guess there's 1 in the wall. Robo behind it. And here we go. This is a serious push out. We have 18 links still available to us. 5 Bane links more. And a bunch of extra links are starting right now. Will these Banes finish up before this hits? The answer is no. They will not. Double stasis coming in as well. Here come more Bane links. Here comes another Shade. Spore places itself in the wall. Is that good enough? Yes, it is. Third base in some trouble, though. Do need to keep an eye on that. Here we go. Good link movement. Second link comes in as well as Rogue is waiting for his melee attacks. Spore moves away, moves back into the wall. Beautiful little maneuvering here out of Rogue. I believe that drones can pass through this and no other units can, as this is gonna get caught. Banelings get the connections. Good hold out of Rogue. Although, with that being said, he did lose a lot of mining time here on the third base. He wasn't ready for this. He responded, and he responded accurately, but he wasn't ready for it. He wasn't there to receive these adepts with open arms. No, quite the contrary. Adepts now continue moving forward. We have what? 1, 2, 4 is the 8. That is 8 adepts. Yeah, 8 adepts over here wanting to go to the fourth base. Will not get the cancel there. That fourth base being done is actually a pretty big deal, by the way. That is very, very helpful. The follow-up here seemingly... Oh my god, look at it. This is going to be an immortal push. Except there's no immortal with this. I was gonna say, this feels like the type of push that has a lot of sentries. There are a lot of sentries. We also have a decent baneling count though. Stasis wards coming up. We're hitting pretty hard with this. Ling run by? Okay, so the way that Rogue wants to approach this is rather than fighting this straight up, he's going to give up his fourth base, which is fine. And he's going to try to deal damage in the run by. There is a battery in here, but there's not a whole lot of static defense, as in there's 0 static defense. All of these probes are actually going to end up falling. This is good damage coming out of Rogue. 47 probes right now. Or Classic as one baneling does get the connect. That is a big deal, but you're going to need a little bit more. A couple of units stuck here in stasis wards as well. Centrifugal hook still stellar, like 15 seconds away. 10 seconds away from finishing up right now. Third base is actually going to fall here. And that means that as long as Rogue manages to survive, he's going to be just fine. Taking out these rocks is a big play, making these types of flanks significantly harder. Here come 2 force fields. They're perfect. These are not good force fields. They are perfect force fields. Exactly what you want. Let's see. Do we have another set of these in here? We have at least 4 or 5 more. There is an alternative third base already going up, but ideally Rogue doesn't really want to deal with this. Is not going for a flank here. Despite the speed of the centrifugal hook's baneling, perhaps could have gone for that. Adept Immortals being caught out in the middle of the map as well. More banelings now rolling in forward. As an Oracle on the right side is trying to hold some stuff once again. Banelings are just being cleared as they try to roll in. We have a lot of links as well returning home from their mission of killing a third base. 55 workers to 43. Third base is still on the way for at least one of the 2 players. And Classic is going to go for a full wall. That means that Classic will commit to this. Classic says, hey, I believe I can win. I can kill you here. My supply is significantly higher than yours. The issue, of course, is the baneling. The baneling can defy the supply count. If you get connections with any amount of adepts, with any amount of sentries here, we are looking at a potentially very bad situation. Potentially game-ending situation, as well as the banelings running forward, not going to get anything. Not going to get anything done. Fourth base is on the way as well for a Zerg player. Probably needs to give this up once more, but you're just kind of being, you know, bounced between bases in that case. You get a flank with these. No is the answer. Banelings trying to roll in are not going to connect. Okay, now we have a couple of banelings that get connections, but the splits are good here on the left side. At least 3 force fields still available. They'll necessarily connect with the baneling count at this point, not high enough anymore, as Rogue is going to fall prey to Classic's all-in. His, honestly, his push that I haven't quite seen before, and a push that I don't think Rogue had seen before, as he ends up dying. That's going to be it for today's series. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video.